I just had the drummer forum with Brent Fitz and Ray,
Mm-hmm.
from Korn and Slash, and our stars didn't line up enough to get you on that call where we were talking more coffee, because you have your own coffee brand as well.
I do.
This is going to be, a new turn for me as far as the podcast, because I've just stopped the first series of the Coffee Cast.
Right.
And I'm switching to music, and you get to be the first guest. Conveniently, you also have a coffee brand. So
Right.
we're gonna merge the two.
I love it.
And we're gonna have a coffee chat and a music chat. Something that is a little bit new for the listeners who are tuning in to, hear. They've been tuning in to kind of hear about roasting and branding. We'll get into that. But I also want to talk about music, because this is what you and I do for a living.
Right.
You play drums, and I tour watching drummers play nightly.
You're a player as well.
Back in the day, there was a time. So I think what we're going to do, I want to have a bit of a chat about, so you guys are Jacksonville? Is that where you guys are? What part of Florida you guys were from?
Yeah, Jacksonville originally. I'm the only one that still lives there.
So I just spent some time at Flamingo.
Okay.
With the guys down there with Paul and those guys, and there was some great coffee in that city, which was amazing. So how did the coffee thing come together for you? Is this a love of coffee, or where did that start for you? Because you've got your own brand, which is
Spartan Brews.
Spartan Brews, and it's been amazing watching you guys. Like Dave Elfson was on, and Korn, Ray from Korn, and they got their coffee. So how did yours come together? Like,
it was weird. I mean, as far as the company coming together, a good friend of mine is my partner in the company. His name's Steve, retired Army. And we've been always talking about, because he used to tour for a while too. He toured with Stain and did the tour stuff after he retired out. And so we'd always talk like, what would you do if you didn't have this life? Or what do you do on your downtime? I'm like, I don't really do much. I love to cook, and I drink a lot of coffee. And he's like, what do you mean coffee? And I was like, well, I love coffee. I have for a long time. And it kind of snowballed that way. He took the reins because he's more business savvy. I'm the artsy guy. He's the business guy. He's in law school right now as his second career, just for the fun of it, kind of thing. So he came to me and said, "We're doing coffee." I went, "What do you mean we're doing coffee?" He said, "We're going to start our own coffee brand. What do you think of this?" And he had the name Spartan Brews, and we do a lot of charitable work for veterans and especially like the Army, like Special Forces and things of that nature. So, that being aside, it's a way of giving back, and we're actually keeping it really small right now. We don't want it to be big because we're both busy in our actual lives. This is almost a side project for the fun of it, for the love of coffee and things of that nature. We plan to expand in the next 2-3 years, because he actually lives in the Northeast. He's gonna move down to Jacksonville where I live, and that's where we're gonna really kick it off and make a home base, and hopefully expand from then and do it a little bit more directly, I guess.
So did you guys decide on doing brick and mortar, or did you guys go online, or what's the plan for the rollout of it? I mean, I know it's been up and running, but is there sort of this bigger idea, like you selling it at merch? Is there what's the plan there?
There's a bigger picture, and it eventually hopefully will be brick and mortar. Right now it is just an online presence, because that's what we can keep up with. It pays for itself right now, and that's what we can keep up with, and that's what we're going to do. Eventually, once he moves down to Jacksonville, we hope to brick and mortar, and we have other ideas and expansions that we want to do that are maybe outside of coffee, but also coincide with maybe the food industry. And I don't want to own a restaurant, though I love cooking. That's not something I want to manage, because restaurants are a pain in the ass. But we have some ideas out there, and I really want to keep it. I do gift bags in our VIP meet and greets, and we did like a get up roast for the song and for radio stations as a promotional item. But I really want to keep this separate from Shinedown, because this is my thing. But I also don't want to ride on Shinedown's back. I don't think that's fair to the other three guys in the band, unless they had a piece of it as well.
And unless they're addicted to coffee,
which the 3 of the 4 of us are. Zach does not drink coffee. I think Eric has a problem. Honestly, he probably goes through 10 cups a day. That guy drinks some coffee.
He needs to get together with Dave Grohl and find out who his coffee therapist was.
Yeah, right? It's a problem. I'm a 3-4 cup a day kind of guy. I don't take it too far, but that's how this business side of it started. But my love affair with coffee started as a teenager. My parents took me to New Orleans on a vacation, and I tried the coffee at Cafe Du Monde, and it was a Cafe LA, and I was like, I love this. And that was it. And then when I was in college, I worked at coffee shops. Started in one of the bookstore coffee shops, one of the major chains, and then ended up on campus. There was a private roaster, which is no longer there, on the college campus where I went to college, and I ran that store and really had a lot of fun. And that's when I fell in love with coffee and the art of being a barista. And I could also, that's how I met my wife. So you can pick up girls by giving them free coffee.
It really, truly brings everyone together.
Yes, it does on many levels. So that's where the love of it started, in the art of being a barista. And I wasn't the best. I mean, it's the technology and the skills have gone so far that I just can't even keep up at this point. I just know that I enjoy coffee. That's
the key. I think everyone just keeps coming back to that I speak to. I wrote an article called "Which Coffee Asshole Are You?"
Right.
And so I'll come back to
There's
that.
a lot.
And I'm going to make you pick one. But
Okay.
the idea was that, we all are in some capacity, but in a funny way, like more like,
Sure.
oh, I only like this or only like that. So we'll circle back to that. But the idea was that as long as you're drinking it.
Exactly.
And the funny part about the whole thing is working here in this building, I was, there was coffee heads all over the place. And I was like, nope. And it wasn't until I started touring again, because I took about a year off. And it wasn't until I started touring again and really diving into it that I was getting some amazing coffee all over the world. And
Sure.
then meeting guys like yourself that are like, wait a minute, you need to do it properly.
Yeah.
So,
It's a big difference between that small can of instant that you have in the cup.
Totally. Thanks for stopping by, friends, to the Brenton on Tour podcast channel on YouTube. Coffee, music, travel, life, all of those things. One page, lots of guests, lots of chatter. We talk about all of it. If you like it, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Thanks, friends. See you next time.